Now that we've covered the manual of arms, it's time to discuss tactics. There are three tactical uses of smoke: marking, signaling, and screening. Marking smoke is when you use one or more smoke grenades downrange as hasty target reference points, or TRPs, in order to get other shooters quickly engaging targets that they may or may not be able to see clearly. Normally, you'd use landmarks like left side of the house or rock pile at 11 o'clock. However, there may be times when you don't have a whole lot of natural landmarks because you're staring at a monotonous tree line, ridge line, sand dunes, etc. When this happens, a team leader can use his Grenadier to fire a single round downrange to make his own landmark.
When marking smoke is desired, the team leader gives an appropriate fire command to the Grenadier. It starts off with a preparatory command of Grenadier or Hey Joe or some other way of getting the Grenadier's attention, followed by smoke marker and a direction. Direction should be given using the o'clock method, with 12 o'clock representing the unit's direct front or direction of travel if on a patrol. Once the Grenadier receives the fire command from the team leader, he takes the following actions. The first thing he does is repeat the fire command back to the team leader as loudly as he can. This lets the team leader know that the Grenadier both received the command and received it correctly. The next thing he does is fire a single M7 or M9 smoke round in the direction indicated by the fire command at his maximum range. The next thing he does is call rounds complete to let the team leader know that the fire mission is completed, and stands by for further fire missions, fire commands, or other instructions from the team leader. Observe the following demonstration.
12 o'clock, 2 shooters, 200 meters.
12 o'clock,
This fire
2
team is taking
shooters,
fire from
200.
the opposite side of a field, but they don't yet see the enemy shooting at them, so they're firing speculatively at likely pieces of cover and concealment. The team leader locates the enemy, but without landmarks, he can only indicate the direction in his ADRAC.
Grenadier, smoke marker, 1 o'clock.
He then calls to the Grenadier indicating that he desires marking smoke.
Smoke marker, 1 o'clock.
The Grenadier echoes the command and readies his tube. Note that all commands from the team leader are echoed by those around him. This lets the team leader know that they hear what he is saying, and it passes the message around to teammates further away from the team leader, who may not be able to hear him specifically.
Rounds complete.
The Grenadier fires his single round and calls rounds complete. Once the smoke starts to billow, the team leader can now give refinements to his original ADRAC to get his team on target.
3 fingers left of the red smoke.
3 fingers left, red smoke.
Grenadier, stow tube.
Roger, sewing tube.
The Grenadier waits to get his rifle back up until he hears the command, stow tube. This is to ensure that the team leader has time to assess the effects of the Grenadier's fire and request additional fire missions as needed until he gets the effects that he wants.
Gun up.
The next tactical use of smoke is signaling. In this day and age of electronics, we like to joke with people about using smoke signals when somebody doesn't have a radio. Turns out this is actually more or less true. It's important to have analog signals built into any communication plan in the event that radio communications fail or are inadequate for the task at hand. And smoke is just one part of that analog signals plan. Smoke grenades come in many different colors, so they can be used to mean any number of different things in team and squad battle drills and standard operating procedures. I have used or seen smoke used to mark friendly positions to aircraft and maneuver elements, to mark landing zones and vehicle pickup sites for extraction, and to indicate phases of an attack. The possibilities are literally endless when it comes to signaling, so we don't actually have a single battle drill that we could demonstrate to you that would be comprehensive. With regards to the can cannon, I will just say that you can use the can cannon with M7 or M9 smoke rounds to place your smoke signal farther away than you can throw it to make it more visible without exposing your team to some unnecessary risk. The third tactical use of smoke is screening. Smoke obscures line of sight and can be used as temporary concealment to obscure a movement. However, the problem with hand-thrown smoke grenades is that they tend to obscure more of your own line of sight than the enemy's.
In this illustration, we have our element with a hostile force 200 meters away. Assuming that a smoke grenade generates a cloud of smoke 10 meters wide, using the worm formula, we can determine that hand-thrown smoke grenades would obscure only about 50 mils, or just under 3 degrees, of the enemy's field of view. This prevents the enemy from getting a good sight picture on us, but he can still fire into the smoke and potentially still place effective fires on us. However, if we take that same smoke grenade and launch it 120 meters toward the enemy, it now obscures 125 mils, or 7 degrees, of the enemy's field of view. So as you can see, the closer the smoke is to the enemy, the more effective it is at screening.
Let me break that down for you. This means that with a cannon and DPS smoke grenades, we are able to place a smoke screen downrange that is up to twice as effective as what we can generate with traditional hand-thrown smoke grenades. Now that's an outstanding asset. Ideally, we'd be able to do this up to 300 meters or more, but we are currently limited by the 120 meter max range of the cannon. For now, we're working on that. More on that at the end of the video.
There are 2 smoke screen fire missions, immediate smoke and quick smoke. The difference between the two is urgency. Immediate smoke is for when the unit is under fire and a smoke screen is desired immediately to hamper the enemy's ability to place effective fires on that unit by blocking their line of sight. Quick smoke is more deliberate, may be planned in advance, and may maintain the screen over time by continuously firing at regular intervals. The procedure for an immediate smoke fire mission is as follows. The team leader issues a fire command, again starting with preparatory command, followed by immediate smoke, and the target for the smoke screen. An example fire command would be Grenadier, immediate smoke, bunker, front left, 200. Alternatively, team leaders may simply add the immediate smoke fire mission into the assignment line of an ADRAC fire command. For example, Team 1, 11 o'clock, muzzle flashes 300. 1 every 3, Grenadier, immediate smoke. Once the Grenadier receives the fire command from the team leader, he repeats it back as loud as he can. Then he rapidly deploys a cannon and makes a hasty wind call so that he can aim his smoke so that it drifts in front of whatever his target is to obscure it. He then fires a barrage of 3 M7 DPS rounds in rapid succession at the target. Once finished, he calls rounds complete and stands by for further fire missions or commands from the team leader.
Immediate smoke house, 1 o'clock.
Having repeated the fire command, the Grenadier deploys his tube. Note the 3 rounds in an easy access pouch. Remember in the loadout section when I recommended having 3 rounds readily accessible? This is why. A skilled Grenadier can deploy his tube and complete an immediate smoke mission in under 40 seconds. Note the downrange effects of this fire mission. This was filmed in some of the worst possible conditions for smoke. Open field, raining, with a strong crosswind. Yet, as you can see, it is still quite effective. As before, the Grenadier waits to stow his tube until so ordered. If the Grenadier notices that the placement of his smoke is ineffective, he may take initiative and fire another 1 to 2 rounds adjusted to get the effects that the team leader wants. The quick smoke mission is similar to immediate smoke, but more deliberate, and may be planned in advance, like in this example.
There is a significant amount of foliage cleared on the west side of the objective near the assault position. So, first squad, be prepared to have your Grenadier fire a quick smoke fire mission to conceal second squad's approach into their assault position. Once that's accomplished, then second squad, you'll be free to move up.
The drill is identical to the immediate smoke battle drill, with 2 changes. First, the Grenadier fires a single M9 smoke marker prior to the 3-round barrage so that he can accurately read the wind. Following this, he adjusts his point of aim as necessary, and fires 3 M7 DPS rounds just as in the immediate smoke battle drill. Finally, the Grenadier proceeds to maintain the smoke screen by firing 1 additional M7 DPS round every 30 seconds. He does this until ordered to cease firing by the team leader, or for a predetermined amount of time. In the absence of a cease fire command, The Grenadier must inform the team leader when he is down to his last 3 DPS rounds by calling, "Grenadier, 3 rounds left." The Can Cannon is a remarkably versatile tool for the American Minuteman. What I've presented to you today is the result of several months of innovation and experimentation, but it doesn't stop there. By now your head's probably full of what-if ideas for other uses of this tool, and that's great. Bolt Boy and I are continuing to come up with more and more ideas for this Minuteman Grenadier concept, and I'll share anything that passes testing as we get to it. Here's a sneak peek at some of the stuff we're working on. Developing a night marking projectile, experimenting with various ergonomics upgrades for the Can Cannon, experimenting with a 308 Can Cannon for the potential increased range or even indirect fire capability, and even experimenting with a self-arming version of the M7 and M9 smoke rounds. Thank you for watching. Semper Descends.